Um, Hello everybody. So today I have Cayla Brooke with me. Hey Kayla.
Hello, hi Vanessa. Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. You actually my first singer. I started my podcast about 2 years ago now, and you were the very first singer because we have artists and healers and writers, and we just never had one singer yet. So, and you have a really good voice. When did you start singing?
I started singing in my bedroom probably when I was 4 years old,
Wow.
but professionally when I was 14. And and by the time I was 19, I had sung for dignitaries and all over the world, like on several continents, and was doing things quite a bit. And so I thought it was very easy. And then life kind of came along and I stopped doing it. And I stopped doing it for a long time. And I actually started back up in my 50s. So
Wow.
I'm a late bloomer with about 40 years of experience. And
Wow.
so I did a debut album at 55. And so I have been singing for a very long time, but I haven't actually pursued it until later on in my life. So.
Okay, because so you started that you went through so many life struggle, you had a bit of divorce, and then you lost your kids
Yeah.
over it at the age of 38, and it was that's when that AA moment came to you when you had to think of something to make it through your life, and so you decided to create a show, and so you were inspired by that singer Eva Cassidy. And so,
Uh,
what made you want to sing for her and made a show on her behalf?
well, actually, it's interesting. When I got divorced at 38, I actually went into a depression because I did lose my children, mostly because of what I had gone through. I had lost my children, not because of anything that I did. It's just that I didn't have family and I didn't have money to have a lawyer. And I fought for 2 years, and eventually I just signed the papers. And that was the most difficult thing one of the most difficult things I ever went through. And so I went into a 10-year depression because I didn't see my kids either very much. He kept them from me a lot. And so it was a very hard time for me. And then eventually there's a lot of things that happened that I ended up pulling myself up eventually. But one of the things that happened, how I got onto singing about Eva Cassidy was my massage therapist. If anybody is familiar with Eva Cassidy's music, you'll probably have found out about her from someone else telling you, because her fame has come from word of mouth. Eva Cassidy was a beautiful singer that lived in DC, Maryland actually, but
Wow.
she did a lot of singing in DC, and she died at the age of 33, but she found her fame after she passed away, which I
Oh.
don't believe a lot of artists have. That's happened to them. I know of artists who have become more famous after they passed away, but I don't know of anybody who has actually become famous after they were gone, except for painters and things like that. So,
Mhm.
anyways, I was at my massage therapist, and she had been telling me about Eva Cassidy for about
Oh.
a year, and I wouldn't listen to it. I just didn't think anything of it. And finally, I listened just to shut my massage therapist up. So I Googled her and listened to a couple of songs, and I was just mesmerized by her voice. Her voice was just beautiful, and I started looking into her. Well, I listened for hours on YouTube. I just went from clip to clip to clip. I couldn't get enough of her. And then I started doing a little bit of research, and she just got into my head, and I couldn't get rid of her.
Oh,
And
wow.
we had a bit of a kindred spirit. There were different things about us that were the same. We were from the same. We were a year apart. We would have been a year apart had she lived, and we had a lot of the same influences and things like that. So it was
Mhm.
really interesting that way. And I sat down one day with no backing, no money backing, or anything like that. And I was really a nobody. I really hadn't done a whole lot of stuff. And I decided to write a show about Eva Cassidy. I did have a bit of a theater background, but I decided to sit down and write. So I wrote a show on a weekend, and within 4.5 months, I had the band and all the charts done and a theater booked, and I was up and performing it. So I wrote it at the beginning of May 2013, and I was performing it in September of 2014 or 2013. And to have done that without it was just an idea in May and not knowing anybody, and then being up on stage, and it kind of took a life of its own after that. And we performed for 4 years. I toured it, and it went just over like gangbusters. It was really good. And one of the neat things that happened, such a beautiful thing, is I met someone who lived in DC, and we were having a video call similar to this. And I brought up Eva Cassidy and said that, because she lived in DC. And she said to me, "Oh, I went to Eva's last concert." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, get the details from it, because I sing about that." Talk about.
Oh, we're having a sound problem with. Weird. Oh, I don't know what is going on here. Looks like we lost sound. So she is going to be working on fixing her sound right now. So basically, she went through a lot of depression, and she found a way to connect with this singer and build that beautiful show. And then she sold out. She's incredible. And yeah, I see she's still here. For people watching on YouTube, she's here, and you heard a story. And I think she's hearing me too. Anyway, our debut album is called Plush Red Hair, and you can find her website and also a Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn at Cayla Brooke. And a message is basically life doesn't end at 20, 30, 40, 60, or 80. Our life can go on, and at any age, basically. And you are the master of your own life, and you can create anything you may desire. So, no, I don't know what is up, huh? No. Let's see. Everybody, I hope you are still listening. She's going to try to fix the microphone right now. And don't forget to go check out all videos and website, and you'll listen to the music and the original Eva Cassidy as well.
Test 1, 2. Can you hear me now?
Yep, fine.
I moved to my webcam, so sorry about that. I don't know. It just all of a sudden stopped. My apologies.
Okay. So a little bit about what people will experience if they go and see you when you were touring with your crew. What's the experience like?
Well, I put on a pretty good concert. My concerts are a lot of stories, and then the music is really varied. It will go from jazz and soul and pop to rock and roll to I love Barbra Streisand, so there'll be a song that'll have a bit of a Barbra feel to it, or a Broadway feel to it. Jazz, like everything, it runs the gamut. Country. And so if you're a person that likes mixed tapes, if you were the person that stuck mixed tapes in your, or lots of CDs and like a variety, then you're going to like my music. But there's always a through line. It all fits because it's all me. It's very natural. It's what I do. But my concerts are very empowering, and they make you feel really good. And a lot of people at the end of them just feel like they can take on the world, and they have a good time, because my purpose and what it is, and my